Hello and welcome to the two-man power trip of wrestling. This podcast is with JP, John Paz, of course, me, your host, and bringing in the man, the former head writer, not according to The Rock and Brian Gewirtz for whatever reason, but that's a different story for a different day, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, head writer of WCW as well, Mr. Vince Russo. Vince, welcome back. How you doing?
You know, bro, it's crazy. Like wrestling's such a crazy world. Of course, everybody sent me Rock's, tweet. And, bro, like at the end of the day, I know Rock and Brian are very, very, very close. And I know at the end of the day, Rock is just trying to help the dude sell his book. So like he's not thinking, he's just really putting the guy over. And also, bro, he's trying to sell Brian's book to like a casual audience. And a casual audience might have no idea, who I am. They don't know, like, I watch TV all the time. And because I'm a writer, I take notice of who the writers are, but regular television viewers don't do that. So he's trying to sell Brian's book to a mass audience who probably has no idea who it is. But, on the other side of that, it is a little bit of a slight, you know what I'm saying? But, bro, that's just wrestling, man,
I almost think he meant like his personal writer. Is that what he meant? Because I guess it's like his one-on-one guy, but
they work closely. I mean, when I left, I know those two guys work closely because, Rock hired him to run his freaking production company, for crying out loud, So I don't know, bro. But, the problem is like, on the surface, like I wouldn't care. But then you got to address all the comments and this. And that's when it's like, God, bro, like, why'd you have to phrase it that way? Because now I'm open to, he never, he told you he never wrote it to W. Like, come on, man. It gets so old, bro.
Yeah, he might have to make another statement, but who knows? But I know he's trying to help out his boy, obviously. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that book coming out. So,
yeah.
But today, topic at hand, King of the Ring, 1998, June 28th, 98, Pittsburgh, PA, the Civic Arena, the attendance over 17,000, the buy rate 385, which is pretty good for a off show. It's not one of the big four. I know you consider it one of the big five, but it's pretty good. 385. The tagline, off with their heads. If you remember Sable on the cover, and the little the denogonizer, as a Kramer would call
the guillotine gimmick.
The guillotine, right? Would come down. Yeah. So King of the Ring 98, you guys are on a roll. WCW is still, it's like a back and forth race. Is there pressure on you guys from Vince, from high up above that, hey, WCW is still nipping at our heels? We may have overtook them in April, but it's back and forth, back and forth.
There's no pressure, John, because, I say this all the time too, like just about life in general. Bro, all you could do is write the best show you can. I mean, like, regardless of, pressure or what Vince is going to say. I mean, at the end of the day, all I could do is sit down and write the best show that I can. So no, there wasn't pressure or anything like that. We always wrote the best show we could write. And that went, whether it was Raw or a SmackDown or a Sunday Night Heat or so no, there was really no pressure as far as that's concerned.
And we were kind of saying off air, which is funny, like to me and to fans and to my buddy Larry, we always think like, okay, this is so big. This is so monumental. This is so important to us. Oh, do you remember this? Do you remember that? But to you guys, you're on the road 365, 24/7. Like, is it one of the things where it's just another show, another thing? Like, you're not thinking like we are. We're like, oh, I remember that moment exactly. I remember when, Undertaker throws Mankind off the cell and like also you guys are just like, okay, this show's going on now. We got to focus on tomorrow night, right?
It's just another show, John. And that's so hard for people to understand. But when you were writing at the rate that we were writing, it's just another show, bro. Like it's no different, than Raw. WrestleMania was just another show. And, it's funny, bro, because like I say some things that people can't comprehend, I finally, John, I did some, I tried to really think about what goes through people's minds. There was a big story on Ringside Seats, I guess it's called, that like I'm calling the WWE every day and begging them for a job. And like, Bro, I'm 61 years old, John. I left mainstream wrestling 10 years ago. Okay, John, I'm not vaxxed. I have no no desire to be vaxxed, which means I really try to stay away from crowds of people. You know, I don't have to go to work every day where there's a lot of people. I certainly don't have to go into arenas, you know, where there's thousands of people. So, you know, the fact that I've not been vaxxed, I think I tend to play it really more safe than others. So what that means is, bro, I ain't traveling anywhere. Like I get requests all the time, John, to do conventions and do this and do that. I'm not leaving my house. Like I've kind of made that clear. On top of that, bro, like I've been podcasting now for 8 years. Like this is how I make a living. I love this, bro. I'm at my house. I mean, yesterday, bro, like at 1:30, I'm able to watch the Giants and the Rockies. Like, you know, I can, when I'm done here, I can go out in my Jeep and, you know, take a ride to the thrift store, like whatever I want to do. It's such a peaceful existence, and it's so perfect for me at this point in my life. And the idea of jumping back into that environment with the politics and Vince McMahon owns you and this, that, and the other thing, it's not even on my radar. But I came to the conclusion that there are so many people out there, bro, that would kill to work for the WWE, that they would absolutely kill for it, that when a guy like me comes along and says, no way in hell would I ever work full-time there again, never, like they can't comprehend that. Like, oh my God, how could you not? That's a dream job. Like, no, bro, I have no desire. I've said this, bro, just like we're doing this show for Larry. Bro, I'll consult for anybody. You want to pay me a fee to look at a character or look at a show or review a show, and I'm doing it from right here? I'll do that for anybody, bro. I'll do that for WWE, AEW, Billy Corgan. But I ain't leaving right here. But it's like right. People that they can't, I don't think they can comprehend that not everybody would drop everything for the opportunity to work for the WWE. Bro, it's a shit job, man. I was there. I did it. That's why I was burnt out after 5 years, bro. Bro, the only way I would want to go back there full time, John, is if I had to because of financial reasons. If I was absolutely broke and I needed a job, absolutely. I don't know if I'd be begging, but I would absolutely be trying to get a job there. Fortunately, bro, with Russo's brand, and for as long as I've been doing this, I don't need the money. Like I had, this is my job. This pays the bills. This is doing just fine. But I just, my God, bro, people just, they don't understand. It was a job like any other job. King of the Ring was just another wrestling. They have this idea in their heads like, holy shit, like this is Mecca. And how could you not drop like your entire life and give your life to the king? It's like, geez, bro, like it's unbelievable to me, bro. People want to really believe at this stage in my life, I'm begging Vince McMahon for a job. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? I wouldn't trade this in for the world, bro. It's insane, man.
Do you think that guy is just making it up, or did he hear that from somebody who was making it up to him? You know what I mean? Sometimes Meltzer and other, not saying Meltzer had anything to do with this, that was that guy Steve or whatever his name is, but it's one of those things where sometimes they get fed stories. Do you think he was fed, or do you think he just made it up off the top of his head?
No, bro, listen, if anybody follows russosbrand.com, bro, I bury that company. I absolutely bury. I hate the fact that I have to watch the show. The only reason I watch the show is because Sportskeeda pays me very well. That's why I watch the show. If Sportskeeda went away, I ain't watching Raw. So I get so pissed off, even though I'm getting paid, I get so pissed off that I got to sit there every week and watch a show that's terrible. So I rip the show. I rip creative. We do master shoot theater where we poke fun at Vince McMahon. First of all, bro, if I'm a guy trying to get a job there, is this the way I'm really going to go about it? Does that make any sense to anybody? I'm going to rip them and then expect them to hire me. And then also, so bro, so the answer is because I rip them the way I do. But yes, bro, it's certainly possible that somebody in the WWE would say, "Oh, bro, he's calling us every week begging for a job," because I'm embarrassing them. I'm poking fun at them. They're bankrupt creatively. So the bottom line is, bro, I don't care what I say about them because I don't want to work there. And I'm not, I'm not trying to massage relationships. So is it possible that somebody inside said, "Oh God, bro, yeah, that's just the front." But for you to believe that, you're just a gullible moron. I mean, bro, you're an absolute moron because I am an example of how not to get hired by the WWE. I mean, my God, bro, it's like I've done everything and said everything for them to never hire me again. And, bro, Vince, back in October, I did a whole series about it. I offered my consulting services. And John, I'll tell you, the reason why I did was because I can't stand sitting here watching the show. It's horrible.
Right.
So I offered my consulting services like I would to anybody. And then Vince McMahon came back and said, "Okay, well, you could watch Raw for a couple of weeks and give me your thoughts." Now, John, if I'm looking at a job, I'm going to jump at that, right? I'm gonna prove myself to Vince so he hires me. So when Vince said to me, watch Raw for the next couple of weeks, I was like, "Bro, I'll be happy to watch Raw for the next couple of weeks, and I'll be happy to critique it. I ain't doing it for free."
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Why would I do? I've got nothing to prove to you. I've worked there already. You saw my numbers. You know where your numbers are now. You think I'm going to jump through hoops for you while I'm offering to help you? I said, "No, I'm not going to do it for free." And that's when he wrote me back the very nasty email. But the bottom line, John, is once he threw that opportunity out there, if I wanted a job, I would have jumped at that opportunity. But no, bro, I am a businessman. You want me to look at your show? You want me to critique your show? You're going to pay me to do that. I'm not going to jump through hoops because you're Vince McMahon in the WWE. Business is business, bro, And that's why, like, with all those things, it's like you got to be out of your mind to sit down and write something like that and actually believe it. It couldn't be so far from the truth, bro. It's so freaking ridiculous.
With that, and you talking to Vince at that one point,
It wasn't talking, bro. It was an email. It was an email exchange.
With that, though, is that insulting to you that he's saying he knows? Obviously, you wrote for the company.
That's totally Vince McMahon. In Vince's mind, bro, everything is great, and in Vince's mind, I need the WWE, and it would be a great opportunity, and it would be an honor and a privilege to be working. He really believes that stuff. And no, bro, like I don't, and I made it clear in the emails, bro. I read the email I wrote to him where I clearly said, I don't want a full-time job. I'm available for consulting. I don't want a job. I made that clear. But no, bro, Vince actually believes that he would be doing me a favor to, to be a consultant on that show. I don't know. Like I said, bro, I left TNA in 2012. I don't know how Vince thinks I've been making a living for the last 10 years. I've made a living the last 10 years without Vince McMahon. So I certainly don't need Vince McMahon to make a living. So that's why, bro, when you're making decent money, you have that power to say to somebody, bro, I'm not doing that for free. Like I said, John, if my finances depended on it and I needed a job, absolutely, yes. I don't need a freaking job, bro. So that's why I was able to say, okay, bro, I'll watch your show, but what's the compensation for that? Because I'm not doing it for free.
Pretty crazy though that he would think like, "Hey, you'll do it for free," and,
Yeah.
and
Not at all, bro.
Yeah.
If you know Vince McMahon, bro, it's really not that.
Wow, okay.
I was not surprised. I actually, bro, when I got the response, I kind of laughed. Because that's typical Vince. In Vince's mind, bro, this is still, the WrestleMania one time, the Attitude Era, we're on top of the world, we're making all. He still thinks we're in that time. And the reality of the show is, bro, I know you're making a lot of money hand over fist. I know Nick Khan is making great deals. I understand all that. Your show's the shits. That's got nothing to do with your show being bad. It's two totally separate things, So, but no, that's just typical Vince, bro. He would have been doing me a big favor, a huge favor, by allowing me to prove myself to. Bro, I proved myself to you 20 freaking years ago. I don't need to prove myself to you again.
Right, absolutely. So here in 1998, when you did really kind of really prove yourself to him in the height of the Attitude Era, here, Kane is going to be feuding with Steve Austin in the main event. You got Undertaker versus Mick Foley, aka Mankind, in the Hell in a Cell. So I mean, this is a pretty big show. Are you happy just in general 98 with like Austin? It's super hot. Is it super easy to write the shows? Because it's like guys have so much momentum. It's crazy.
John, I said this all the time. And this is what they don't do. These are the basic fundamentals. If you stay true to every character on the show, and what I mean by that is they all don't act and talk like wrestlers. They all have individual personalities. So in other words, let's use hypothetically. There are 10 wrestlers at a street corner, okay? On the other side of the street, a woman is being mugged. Okay. All 10 of those wrestlers would act differently based on their personality. So if Rock sees a woman being mugged, he's going to act a certain way. If Austin sees a woman being mugged, he's going to act a certain way. But you've got to get so deep into the psyche of these characters that you understand what they would do under certain situations. Okay. So now, because of that, the characters are real. They're not wrestlers. They're real people. If you stay true to that, bro, and just have wrestlers react like that character would react, John, the show writes itself. I've said this all the time. It writes itself because you know what every single character is going to do next. You know how they're going to react. It writes itself. Nobody does that anymore, bro. Everybody's a wrestler. Everybody cuts the same promo. When you have real defined characters, these shows write themselves.
So here we're going to start off the pay-per-view. The Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, and Taka Michinoku defeat Kai and Tai, who is Men's Teo, Funaki, and Dick Togo. The match goes about 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Anything of note here, like in your mind, thinking like Kai and Tai, Taka Michinoku turns face. He's feuding with them. Anything, or are you thinking like, okay, this is just filler? This is just opening act. Let's just get the crowd hot. Like, is anything like anything of note though? Really,
that's exactly what you said, John. Because these shows should crescendo. Like, bro, I can't tell you. I was watching I did a little experiment, John, where I went back and I started watching Rampage for about 6 weeks until I finally said, bro, I can't watch this anymore. But the first thing I noticed was you're opening with the main event.
Yeah, they
That's how
usually
you
do that. Yeah.
format. That's how you format this show. So who's going to follow that? So everybody after this main event is dead, bro. When you write a show like this, you gotta crescendo the show. Every match on the card has a spot, and this is the spot. You got a hot crowd. They're waiting for action. You got Kai and Taka. There's going to be a lot of high flying. It's really going to be the spectacle and not the story. So yeah, bro, this is how you want to set the night. You want to set the night with a good, solid match. High flying, great wrestling performance type of thing. It's really not going to be a story driven match. Like I remember at TNA, like every show started with next division match. That's how every show started. But there is an art, bro, to building the show and building that card. We used to put a lot of time and effort into that. I don't even think they know how to put pay-per-views together anymore these days, bro.
It is weird the way they do it. Like, I don't know, it's just a strange thing. Like
Yeah.
Cody, for instance, was like he's like the top guy over there. And I know Reigns is going to main event, but it was weird. He was the first match, Reigns is the last. They do that bookend stuff, which is weird.
It's very, 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 very weird, bro.
So with King of the Ring, is it better for you guys writing it that the whole King of the Ring doesn't have to be on the pay-per-view? Because that kind of sets a different pace, and it kind of makes the show, I don't know, not as balanced. Like, for instance, if you have to do the King of the Ring through the whole show, you're going to have, there's 9 matches total. You're going to have, a ton of more matches. So you're able to put the King of the Ring on Raw and have different matches. Do you like that, though, not having the whole tournament on the pay-per-view?
I like having the whole tournament on the pay-per-view, and I'll tell you why, John. And this is a lot of this, bro. Nobody does their research. Nobody does their research. John, I could tell you based on writing from like 96 to 2012, okay? Tournaments on TV, John, do not draw. They don't draw. And I'll tell you exactly why they don't draw, because they're matchups. So there's a lot of cold matches. There's a lot of cold wrestling matches. The casual wrestling fan, they don't like that. They want stories and they like characters. So every time I did a tournament on TV, it never drew. The pay-per-view is supposed to be the wrestling. That is the payoff. That is the wrestling. You want to see wrestling matches, that's where you're going to get long wrestling matches. So I personally like the drama. Like I was at, bro, which one had the tournament? WrestleMania 4 or 5? I think 4,
WrestleMania
right?
4. Yep.
Yeah, I was at that show. I literally was at
awesome.
that show. I love that. I love that build throughout the entire night. So my preference would have been to do it that way.
Interesting. You were there. That's a great show to be. Obviously, Macho Man wins the title over
I
DiBiase in the finals. That's awesome.
I was at 4 and 5, bro, because they were both in Atlantic City.
Yes, good stuff. That's the heyday right there.
Yes, absolutely.
And Hogan and Savage at that point, my God, I think was it 785,000 buys in '89 too. So I mean, it's like
ridiculous, bro.
Insane,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
yep,
insane. So you guys do have tournament matches on Raw and on TV beforehand. I'll just quickly go through the first round and the quarterfinals because the semifinals is where you guys start for the pay-per-view. So The Rock beats Vader. Triple H beats X-Pac. Owen Hart beats Too Cold Scorpio. Dan Severn beats D'Lo Brown. Ken Shamrock beats Kama Mustafa. Mark Henry shockingly beats Terry Funk. Jeff Jarrett shockingly beats Farouk. And Mark Merrow beats Blackman. Then The Rock beats Triple H. Dan Severn beats Owen Hart. Ken Shamrock beats Mark Henry. And Jeff Jarrett defeats Mark Merrow. So the semifinals are set. And Jeff Jarrett loses here to Ken Shamrock, and Jeff Jarrett's with Tennessee Lee. He loses by submission in the semifinals in about 5 minutes, 30 seconds. What do you think here? Jarrett and Tennessee Lee. aka Colonel Robert Fuller.
He was great, bro.
Great talker.
Oh my God, bro. He was a great performer, bro. And that was a good they had really good chemistry there. You know, bro, and that's the thing, man. Guys like him, they're good for the locker room. You know, bro, it's funny how wrestling has changed because you know, we just did a show, bro, and you know, CM Punk was making comments about Bischoff, and he kind of described all of us as old, over the hill hanger-oners doing podcasts. Like, you know, something switched, bro, from when an veteran was there or a veteran would come to the show, bro, you would drop everything. You would bow at their feet. I mean, I remember, bro. I remember one time and one time only, I got to meet Ernie Ladd, bro. I might as well have been meeting the Beatles, and the amount of respect, you know, that is shown, you know, and that's why, you know, Robert Fuller is one of those guys. When I was in TNA, it was Bob Armstrong. When these guys are around, like, you honor them. Today, bro, somehow we went from honoring them to shitting on them, because now, you know, anybody that says anything on the current product, you know, any former wrestler, they're just going to get shit on. Like their opinions mean absolutely nothing. You know nothing. We know everything. And I don't know how that happened, but like Fuller was a guy, you know, like Percy Pringle. Those guys had been around, and to have their knowledge and their experience in the locker room is a great plus, bro.
Shamrock here, obviously he gets the win. Is this part of a big push? Were you really behind Ken Shamrock at this point?
Oh, yeah, bro. I say this all along, man. I think to this day, man, because I review a lot of Attitude Era shows and stuff. Bro, he was one of the most believable characters I've ever seen in the ring, ever, bro. He had, you know, like just such integrity and emotion, and you believed what he was doing, bro. So yeah, I was a big fan of Ken Shamrock, bro. There were a lot of contractual problems, you know, going on with Shamrock, and I'm never privy to that stuff. But a lot of times, bro, that really dictated who you pulled back on. If there was some kind of hesitancy to sign a contract or something like that, that's when I was usually given a heads up by JR or Vince. And now, okay, bro, now we've got to pull back on this talent. Because that's the only reason I would have ever pulled back on a guy like Ken Shamrock. It had nothing to do with what he was doing in the ring.
I know at that point, UFC probably wanted him back. I know, obviously, Pride Fighting Championships was the big organization and based out of Japan, but they were really the number one, and they would eventually get him in 99, 2000.
So there was probably a lot of that negotiating going on that I'm never privy to, bro. That's not my department.
Because he was one of the first like true draws for MMA. So I mean they wanted him back.
Yeah,
they want to make him feud with certain guys, whether it be years later with Tito Ortiz or whoever. I mean they want certain matchups for Shamrock that they knew would draw money for them. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So then the other semifinal, The Rock defeats Dan Severn in about 4 minutes and 30 seconds here. He had some help from Kyle Mustafa and Mark Henry, so it's not like a clean victory for The Rock, but fully established as a heel. And we're going to get in the finals for the King of the Ring, The Rock versus Ken Shamrock, which is a feud that you guys have been building for months, almost like a little bait and switch. Remember at Mania, we were talking about Shamrock wins. They take the title back from him because he gets DQ'd. So a lot of build up for Rock and Shamrock here as we head to the finals.
Bro, I've said this all along. There are certain guys that made certain guys. Okay. And I will tell you this flat out, and Austin will tell you this too. Before Austin hit big, he was going around the towns with Savio Vega. Savio made Austin. Savio really, really helped make Steve Austin. The same with Shamrock. Without that feud with Shamrock prior to Rock exploding, bro, that was so integral to Rock's rise. And I've said that a million times. Those two guys were very, very, very instrumental in Austin and The Rock getting to the heights that they got to. And I don't think those two guys ever get enough credit for that. And I believe Austin and Rock would give them credit all day long. I'm talking about, you know, the fan base really understanding how important those two guys were to these two, to the careers of these two.
The next matchup, Too Much. Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor, before they became Too Cool, defeated Al Snow and Head in a tag match. Jerry Lawler is a special guest referee. The match goes 8 minutes, 30 seconds. You're immediately laughing. You like the booking of this one.
That's hysterical. Anything with Al and Head is just hysterical to me. And wasn't there something where he couldn't pin his shoulders or something? There was some kind
So
of...
he put the head and shoulder bottle on him and he pins Head. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So there was definitely something gimmicky about that. But yeah, bro, this is 1000% an entertainment match. This is something that would not go over today because, bro, I say this all the time. Somehow or another, a lot of people have convinced themselves that wrestling is real. I don't know how that happened. Like, so there's no room for comedy. There's no room for entertainment. Wrestling is real. So we got to go out there for 20 minutes, bro, and we got to have a 5-star match because wrestling is real. You know what I say, bro? If it's real, then wrestle for real. Wrestle for real, bro. If you're Joe Tough Guy and you're that good, wrestle for real. Because the fact of the matter is, it's not real, bro. And it is predetermined. And you are play fighting, whether you want to admit that or not. And the only way that'll ever change is if you go out there and fight for real. So let me know when you're ready to go out there and fight for real.
Crowd's pretty into Al Snow and Head, though. I mean,
Oh,
so
he's very entertaining, bro.
yeah.
Al was off the charts, man. Off the charts.
Any plan on a push for Al?
Yeah, bro. See, that's the thing, man. There was never any such thing as a push, bro. I mean, the fans are dictating the direction of the show. The fan response and the ratings are dictating who we're going with. If you're drawing, bro, you're going to get more television time. If you're not, you're going to get less. It's really that simple, bro. Simple formula.
In your head, are you thinking like mid card, upper mid card? This guy's entertaining. The crowd loves him. Got to keep him on TV.
Yeah, he's a mid card guy, entertaining. You're not going to change the channel with Al Snow on, you know, but because of his character, you were only going to take him seriously to a certain level. But he had a very, very, very important role on the card.
Did you like the Head? I know you like Al, but do you love the Head?
Oh no, bro. I you know, again, bro, it's like the people, again, the revisionist history, which I love. People love to say, bro, you know, Vince Russo ripped off ECW. And the fact of the matter is, bro, if I saw 5 ECW shows, that was a lot. I was inspired by what Eric was doing with the NWO. That's what inspired me. I got no problem saying that. But one of those 5 shows that I was watching, Al was in the ring and they littered the ring with the heads. And I saw that. I'm like, because the last time we had Al, he was like Leaf Cassidy. And I'm like, oh my God, bro, this is freaking awesome. So, of course, I had to go to Vince. Vince didn't watch ECW, didn't know anything about ECW. And I told him what Al was doing. And I'm like, bro, we need to get him here, man. The guy is very, very entertaining. And that's pretty much what we did.
So the next matchup, X-Pac with China defeated Owen Hart in 8 minutes, 30 seconds here. DX member, X-Pac, Nation member, Owen Hart. Mark Henry gets involved. Vader gets involved, who's kind of feuding with Mark Henry here. And X-Pac's able to win via cheating thanks to China over Owen Hart. What do you think about Owen in the Nation of Domination?
Bro, oh my God, bro. Somebody wrote me this week with this conspiracy theory of how Owen Hart was purposely murdered. Okay. And
Whoa.
part of his conspiracy theory was the reason we put the blue blazer gimmick on Owen was a punishment because there were certain creative things Owen didn't want to do. And I said, wait a minute, imbecile. I was the head writer at the time. The reason we put the blue blazer gimmick on Owen was because Owen was hysterical. Owen was so lovable and with his ribs and everybody laughing. And we knew he would make this superhero. It would be as entertaining as hell. No, bro, if anybody ever met Owen Hart, this is the last person in the world you're ever going to punish. Bro, there were a lot of people I would have liked to punish. Owen Hart is nowhere near that list. So it's the same idea with the Nation, bro. The fact that Owen is in the Nation, it's funny, bro. It's comic relief. And Owen always pulled that stuff off. And was he a great wrestler, bro? Absolutely, without a doubt. But if you didn't give Owen this comedic edge, he was really just another good wrestler. And there was a lot more to him than that. He had such a funny, entertaining side. And that's what we were always trying to get out.
Interesting with him in the Nation, like you said, it's a little bit of a comedic thing, but he pulled it off. I mean, he pulled off everything. He made it work
bro.
well.
Absolutely. No doubt about it, man.
I also heard some insane conspiracy theory from these nut jobs on Twitter that were saying, like, because Owen injured Austin, that, like, they were looking for some sort of, like, I was like, oh my God, like,
exactly,
that is insane.
bro. I
How
mean,
could you
my
think that?
God, when you read shit like that,
they're nuts.
it drives me freaking crazy, bro. Like, give me a break.
So the New Age Outlaws, another team, a part of DX, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, who are the champions, with China out there, defeat the Midnight Express, Bodacious Bart, and Bombastic Bob with Jim Cornette, retaining the tag team championships in about 9 minutes, 30 seconds. China is involved again. She low blows Cornette and, helps the Outlaws win. She's a big part, 2 matches in a row. Midnight Express, I didn't think they'd win the tag titles, but, they're at least getting a shot. So somebody is behind them, getting a little bit of a shove up the card.
Bro, I'll tell you exactly what this is. First of all, and I've said this a million times, New Age Outlaws, I give 1,000,000% credit to Vince McMahon. It was his idea to put these two guys together, and I've said it a million times. I did not see it. I was like, bro, I did not see it. 100% I give Vince credit for that. The NWA stuff, bro, in those creative meetings, Jim Cornette was always pushing that old school stuff. Now, bro, I'm sitting there and I'm knowing in this day and age, bro, the shit's not going to work. I know it's not going to work. But I was like, you know what, man? Let's do this anyway. So Jim will be able to see for himself that this is not going to work. So I basically, bro, did that angle to appease Jim Cornette, knowing it was never going to get over, bro. And it wasn't going to get over, bro, just because it was a different time. And the company was, and the company and society was moving in a different direction, bro. We were past that. But it was something that I feel that, Jim had to see that for himself. So that was the whole idea behind the NWA angle gimmick.
So then we have Ken Shamrock in the finals, the King of the Ring finals. This is going to be for the crown, if you will. Ken Shamrock defeats The Rock via submission in a pretty good back and forth match. Match goes about 14 minutes. Finally, he gets to defeat The Rock and actually keep the victory. So this was almost like the culmination of the end of their feud too, but also he gets to become the King of the Ring. But it's not like he automatically gets a title shot. They know they did that years later. Was that ever like a thought, or was that kind of different? Because guys didn't always do that, where the King of the Ring wins and gets a title shot automatically, the world champion.
Yeah, no, bro. Again, I'm telling you, man, there was a lot going on behind the scenes with Shamrock that like I didn't even know about and I wasn't privy to. And the reason why I say that, bro, is because there was no reason not to ride Ken Shamrock to the moon. The guy, in my opinion, had everything. He was very believable. He had a great personality. Um, there was no reason not to ride him to the top. But like I said, bro, behind the scenes, whether it was negotiating with the other MMA companies, whether it was holding the WWE up for money, I don't know what it was, but there was stuff going on behind the scenes that I absolutely had no control over.
So Shamrock wins. He's the king. You don't do like the corny crown. I'm gonna guess you're not. Are you a fan of the
Oh
crown with the
God,
cape and
bro,
that stuff?
please, please, bro. I can't stand that shit.
Pretty cheap. It wouldn't fit Shamrock at all either. I could
No,
see him
not at
breaking it and like
all.
ripping it up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
not at
Like
all.
he's
No.
that kind of
He
character.
could have came out waving like Zelina,
Yeah,
whatever her
Zelina
name is.
Vega. Yeah,
Yeah, please.
with the accent too. He could have had the
Yeah,
British accent.
exactly. Yes, yes.
So then we have. This is probably the most memorable match, maybe, of the night, and maybe for years. But the Undertaker defeats Mankind Hell in a Cell, 17 minutes, 30 seconds. Whew. Man, this is just crazy because okay, they're both huge names. They're both great wrestlers. They had a great feud, but this is just like another level of like insanity. They go to the top, and he just tosses them off through the table. You could tell Hugo and Carlos aren't even aware. Hugo does a thing where he like almost like falls off his chair. He's like almost like in shock. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. But like, were you just absolutely floored? Because obviously they
Oh
don't tell
God.
anybody about putting this match together. Like, what
Bro,
they're
I
going
was
to do?
watching this in the gorilla position, and people, again, bro, people don't know how the industry works. We know what we need the finish to be. Okay, when you got guys like Undertaker and Mick, you tell them what we need the finish to be. They lay all that out, bro. A writer has nothing to do with that. So I have no idea what's in this match, what they've laid out. I know what we need the finish to be. But bro, I was watching this match from the gorilla position, so I was just on the other side of the curtain, and I could not believe the two bumps that Mick took, bro. After that second bump, I thought he was dead. I could not believe, and bro, I wasn't like today, oh my God, and popping and this and that, and this is awesome. I was genuinely concerned about his health. I mean, that's what I was worried about first and foremost. And, we had the trainer Francois there. And as soon as Mick came through the curtain, we had a gurney ready for him. And I went, in a private room where Francois was looking at him because, bro, that was my only concern, was that this guy just did some major damage to himself.
And not only that, he goes back up the cage. I mean, JR's call is just legendary because he's not working. You can tell he's serious. Stop the damn match. This is insane. And
Right.
then he gets choke slammed through by accident again. Undertaker, which is so funny, he actually, when he jumps down, he like breaks his ankle, but he literally can't say anything. He's like, this guy just killed himself twice
Right.
for me. I
Right.
can't complain about my ankle. Screw my ankle. So, I mean, Foley's, I mean, obviously remember it in lore, and maybe a lot of guys try to copy him and unjustly try to copy him and do all these crazy bumps and it cause injury. But like he said, I mean, it was just one of those crazy things where he obviously didn't mean to go through the cage that second time, but
Yeah.
holy crap. But he
And
made
I'll never
himself that
forget this,
day
bro.
into a
When
legend.
he comes through on the gurney, and bro, I knew his family was there. I knew the
Oh,
kids were there and his wife were there. So I finally I get a second alone with him, and I was like, bro, what are you thinking? Like, seriously, Mick, like, you got kids? This is what I'm telling him. And bro, I'll never forget, man. He looked up at me. His teeth were through his lip. He
ugh.
was a freaking mess. And I'll never forget, bro. He looked up at me and he said, Vince, was it better than the Shawn match? That's all he cared about, that it was better than Shawn and Taker. And I was just like, Mick, you're out of your mind. Like, seriously, bro. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you've got 2 little kids, you got a beautiful wife, and like this is what, but that was Mick Foley, bro. That's how much he loved the business, and that's how much pride he took in every single match.
Crazy thing is he's even talking to Funk about it beforehand. As he says, and Funk has said, like he was talking about it before. He goes, "I got to outdo Shawn Michaels versus
Yeah.
Undertaker at Bad Blood the year before." Like he wanted to have the better match, and it's so funny. It's like that was his thought process. He didn't care about his health. He didn't care about doing crazy stunts. Like imagine if you're thinking to yourself, "I'm just going to jump off a 20-foot high cage onto a table." Like you're just like, "I'm going for it," and then like you get choke slammed again. You get your tooth through your lip, then it goes through your nose, and then you still go and you bring out the thumbtacks, and you're like, "Holy moly,
I
what a
can't
night!"
imagine that, bro.
Yeah.
That takes a different breed, bro. That is not normal. That takes a very, very different breed.
It's funny though, like Austin, the toughest SOB. You can almost not call him that after watching Foley. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
this guy is the toughest. Like, holy
yeah,
crap, how is he not dead?
yeah. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Bro, I'm just wondering. I don't think Mick would ever tell you. I wonder how much of that he regrets today. Like, when he gets out of bed every morning of his
Yeah.
life.
Yep. Very true.
I'll be honest with you though, bro, knowing Mick, man, I bet he doesn't regret it at all.
Wow. I would
You
think
know?
like his hip is screwed up, his back, his
Yeah.
legs.
Yeah. But he was the best he could be, and I think that was the most important thing to him.
What a crazy match. When people say like wrestling's fake and then you show them that match, they're like, well, maybe not that. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because there's no way to fake that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, he's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Do you
Yeah.
think though, by him doing that, he did set off like because even on the indie scenes, I remember seeing after this guys doing crazy bumps.
Yeah,
They get
and
thrown
bro,
off
like I
cages.
said, I'm not a fan of that shit. I wasn't one of the guys standing backstage saying this is awesome, this is awesome. I was one of the guys saying, "What are you, out of your freaking mind, bro?" Fast forward to, there was a clip on my Twitter timeline today with Darby Allin yesterday.
Yeah.
It- I'm not a fan of that, bro. I'm not a fan of you hurting yourself. I'm not a fan of that, bro. I'm not going to cheer holy shit, this is awesome when you are risking severely hurting yourself. You're risking being paralyzed. You're risking death. I am not a fan of this. So when Mick did those things, my reaction was, "Are you effing crazy?" Bro, like literally, is something wrong with you? Why are you doing that? I have the very same response to this day.
And obviously Undertaker gets the win. Imagine if you guys did all that and all of a sudden we booked Mankind to win. It would be like,
Oh God, yeah,
it would be like, how? Like, how
yeah,
is he? Yeah.
right, right,
Oh man. And they bring out the gurney. He gets up off the gurney. Terry Funk comes out. Remember, he gets chokeslammed out of his tennis shoes, which JR had another great line about. Just man, JR, like talk about like ultimate moment of just awesome
Oh yeah,
commentary off the
forget
cuff.
about it. Forget it.
Everybody uses those. Even when you see those stupid videos, like the kid in the shopping cart, he falls out of the shopping cart, oh my God, they'll put it all over
Right,
Twitter.
right, yeah,
Or like they'll have the kid on the jungle gym and all of a sudden, like, oh my God, he's broken in half and he falls. And,
yeah, yeah,
it's just one of those things. It lives on forever. He's a
yep,
GIF, meme. I don't know, whatever you call it. He's just
yep.
a social media legend now, just because of
Absolutely, man.
other matches.
Absolutely.
But this match, really, I mean,
Yeah,
holy crap. Stop the damn match. I mean,
yeah,
he's dead serious too.
yeah,
He's pissed.
yeah, yeah.
Does he say something to like Mick afterwards? Like, what the
I'm sure.
hell are
I'm
you
sure he
doing?
did, bro. Because, bro, think about it. The last thing we want is Mick not being able to work for 6 months. Think
Yeah.
about that, bro.
Yep.
Like, no, you don't want that, bro. Bro, there were many instances in my career where, like, I would watch a match and I would cut a promo on the talent afterwards. Like, what the frig are you like? Trust me, man. I did that many, many, many times. I'm not a fan of that stuff, bro. I don't watch wrestling to see people get hurt.
And Mick is going to be a part of the main event too, so he almost could have screwed that up because you would have had to change what was going on with the finish of the main event. So
Yep.
Mick almost
Yep.
kind of ruined that. But obviously, he's so tough. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm
Yeah.
or screw it, or whatever. I'm coming back and I'm
Yeah.
wrestling,
Yeah.
or not wrestling, but I'm going to be a part of the finish, like true
But he
professional."
knows that too. He knows that, bro. He knows I did all that stuff, and Vince will be hot if because of that now it's going to affect the finish. So there's no way he's not doing it.
So it is really, really, really memorable. Even Sullivan always says, like, from the WCW point of view, like, holy shit, like, everybody's talking about this damn Foley Undertaker Hell in a Cell match, and Foley, like, how could we top that? We can't. Like, that's nuts. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Are you guys liking it for that aspect, but disliking it for the fact that this guy literally almost killed himself?
Bro, I can only speak for myself. And like I said, bro, to this day, I think the guy was out of his mind. I mean, I'm sorry, bro. And it's not even, oh, he'd be hurt and he'd be on he couldn't be on TV. It's not any of that shit. It's personal. Like, bro, what would have happened if you would have been paralyzed? What would have happened if you would have cracked your skull? Like, it's really personal, man. I don't, people that I was working with and I worked very closely with, bro, I don't want to see them get hurt.
Yeah, man, that's really scary. But I mean, for us, like as fans, entertainment value, it's like, holy crap, that was awesome. But then in the other part of your mind, like, wait, how is this guy like walking? Like he's going to be, hurting. But he's so damn tough. He's still in the next pay per view and the pay per view after that. I mean, and he's showing up for the main event. So I mean, hats off to him for doing it. But man, what crazy bump! Very, very
absolutely
memorable stuff.
Yeah.
So the main event is a first blood match for the WWF Championship. Kane with Paul Bearer defeats Stone Cold Steve Austin. Had Kane lost, he would have to have set himself on fire. Kane gets the win in a good match, 16 minutes. Of course, Mick Foley comes out, Mankind. All this stuff at the Hell in a Cell is going on. Foley comes out. You think he's going to get involved. Undertaker then comes out, and he gets, by accident. So we think. So that's another cool little teaser. Like, did he do it on purpose? Undertaker ends up hitting Austin. Austin ends up bleeding. Undertaker basically cost Austin the match. And if you think about it, helps his brother not get burned alive and helps his brother win the world championship. But you could also say it was Mankind's fault too. So you're keeping that kind of gray area, like Undertaker's a heel. Is he a face? Did he do it on purpose? Did he not? So it's one of those things where it's cool to me as a fan because the next night, it's like more questions than answers. Like, first of all, fuck, like Austin's not the champ anymore. That sucks. Kane's the champ, but he's not going to be lit on fire. Did Undertaker just help his brother? Or did he do it by accident? A lot of cool stuff going on.
And bro, not only is it cool stuff for you as a viewer, as a writer, it's like euphoria, bro, because now you've got so many avenues that you can go down, bro. Now you have created weeks and weeks and weeks of television. That's the beauty of it, bro. That's the part that a lot of these hardcore fans miss and don't understand. When David Arquette wins a world title, when Goldberg spears Russo through the cage and Russo wins a world title, these moments are meant, bro, to open up the creative envelope when Vince McMahon is in a Royal Rumble. Because now, bro, you've got so many places you could go that you didn't have before. So when you've got something like this, where there could have been 10 different scenarios, it's a writer's paradise, bro, because it gives you weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of good television.
Plus, to me, thinking about it, like Austin is kept strong. He lost, but he kind of got screwed, and he didn't get pinned or submitted. He was bleeding. It's a first blood match, so it's another thing too. It's like, well, Austin, he still should be champ. If you're the fan of Austin, he got screwed. Plus, it keeps him strong, booking wise.
Everyone's protected. Everyone's protected, and like I said, bro, a lot of that it goes back to writing as if you're in the shoes of every single performer. Bro, you know how many times I see on Raw a wrestler? Keep in mind, bro, you're a professional wrestler. You decided to get in this profession. You're a fighter. You want to fight. You're a tough guy. I can't tell you how many times on Raw I see a guy get attacked, and by the next week, we totally forgot about it. What? Would a wrestler, a competitor, a fighter ever forget about somebody attacking him? That's the stuff that I'm talking about, bro. So, we make sure the finish is going to protect Austin and suit Austin's character. Like I said, bro, that stuff does not happen anymore.
I know you said like one show kind of goes into the next, but this is really a lead into Raw the next night, which is just huge because so many people were interested. I remember me and a bunch of my friends, we all got together. We were like obsessed because Austin versus Kane, there had to be a rematch. Then there is a rematch. Is that one of the things where you're very happy with the pay-per-view? You're happy everything, went all fine. But now it's like, okay, we got to move on to the next night because
Bro,
Austin
I
versus
am.
Kane, this is huge rematch.
Yeah, bro, I'll be honest with you, and this goes for every pay-per-view across the board. Bro, we're writing the pay-per-view at the same session where we're writing Raw. We're writing it at the same time. I am always excited about the Raw. Like that the following night is the show that always excites me. The show after Mania, the show after a show like this. I am always excited about, okay, bro, now that this happened, what is the fallout going to be? That show always got me the most excited.
So, of course, Austin, in a great match, the rematch on Raw, wins the title. The crowd is nuts from beginning to end. I mean, the crowd is just crazy for Austin, but he regains the title. It just was like the perfect compliment. It's like, wow, that really followed up the solid pay-per-view. I mean, that really followed up strong.
Mm-hmm. No, that's important, bro. And we see, bro, you could now look at, you could look at Raw's history for the last 20 years. We knew after every WrestleMania, we were going to have a huge audience. We knew that. So, because either people didn't see WrestleMania or they were tuning in to see the fallout. So, in that show, we'd go balls to the wall and always draw a huge number. But because we knew we were going to draw a huge number, bro, we were writing to hook them for the next week. And we wanted to keep that huge number. Bro, you look at the history of Raw the last 20 years, they do a huge number the day after WrestleMania.
Yep.
They don't keep people there. They don't follow up on it. They don't see things through. And by the next week, they're right back where they started.
100%. Yep.
Yep.
So, thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, what do you kind of think of the pay-per-view? Just, I know it's hard to say because you wrote it, but were you happy though? Like, would you say thumbs up? This is great.
99.9% of the time, the pay-per-views were always a thumbs up because the boys always performed. I mean, it was a bigger show to them. They were paid more, so there was money involved. So they always, bro, they always turned up the switch. They always performed on pay-per-views. So to me, the pay-per-views were really all about the performance. I mean, that's what it was really all about. And these guys always delivered, man.
And obviously going forward, Undertaker and Austin would team up in July. Then they fight each other at SummerSlam 98 in a big main event. Then in September, Austin and Undertaker, Undertaker and Kane versus Austin was kind of a three-way, but really a 2-on-1. And then the October pay-per-view, it's Austin as a referee for Undertaker and Kane. So, I mean, this is a good storyline going forward. Then you got Survivor Series, which the tournament and the Rock is going to be in. So it's very good stuff. You don't know who's kind of going where, but it seems like everything is going in the right direction in 1998 for sure for the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Bro, it's just, it's very sad to me that that's just not how it's done today.
No.
Bro. And I'm going to tell you again, John, the key is staying true to every character. Bro, here's a perfect example. Bro, I was there when we introduced the Edge character. Okay. Yep. I was there when we introduced the Edge. So Edge is there for many, 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 many years. All of a sudden, bro, they decide Edge is going to be a heel. But the reason he's going to be a heel is because he's going to turn on the people. Like, like nothing happened to ever make him a heel. Okay, bro. So now he's a heel for no reason. And now on top of that, bro, He's an evil heel, and he's cutting promos where it's cheap heat and he's burying the hometown. Like,
not good. Yeah.
That's the stuff that I'm talking about, bro. It is so elementary. It is so like 101. No, bro. This guy has been a babyface for years and years and years. Something needs to happen to slowly but surely turn him to the dark side. Bro, remember how Sting became the Crow? It didn't happen like that. And he didn't go out and cut a promo on the people. You know, nobody trusted him anymore. And he became alienated over time. Now I'm a heel. I'm going to cut a promo on the people, and I'm going to cut a promo on Wisconsin. Like, no, bro. It's god awful, bro. I miss the way things were done, bro. We did things the right way back then, man.
For sure. Great point there. Let's hit the plugs. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 2Man Power Trip. Check out the website, tmptempire.com, and Patreon, patreon.com/tmptempire. Vince, what do you got?
Yeah, guys, just go to channelattitude.com, man. That's where everything comes out of russosbrand.com, Hameen Media Group. I've got a Batman 66 show on there. I got a couple great comedians on there, Shuley and Bob Levy from the Stern Show. You get a lot of free clips, bro. You could sample all these shows. Just go to channelattitude.com.
Great stuff, as always, Vince. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next time here on the podcast. Thanks, folks. Have a good one.